Tonight, one man is dead and an investigation is underway after a call for an assault ended in a Douglas County deputy opening fire. As additional deputies responded to the scene in Franktown, a Bearcat crashed in bad weather. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause joins us now. And Rachel, you spoke with the sheriff about what happened.
Yeah, the Douglas County Sheriff says this all started just before 1 o'clock when a 911 call came in from a child about a man assaulting his mother.
Very dynamic situation, very dangerous situation.
The investigation is underway after a fatal shooting in Franktown. Douglas County Sheriff Darren Weekly says deputies were called out just before 1 o'clock to a call of a man assaulting his mother.
There were also 2 children inside the home. One of those children were the ones that called 911.
Law enforcement say they knocked on the door of the home and a child ran out. Followed by the woman the man was believed to have assaulted.
Our deputy looked inside the door and saw a male with a handgun. At that time, the male pointed the gun towards our deputy, and the deputy fired shots.
Weekly says this all happened fast.
Extremely quick. When the deputies made contact, everything took place within a matter of a few seconds.
The sheriff says deputies then retreated, calling for backup. The rainy weather making things tricky.
Our SWAT vehicle that was en route to the area to assist with this hydroplaned, went off the road and subsequently rolled. Fortunately, our deputy that was driving that has only minor injuries and nobody else was injured.
SWAT and backup arrived. A drone was later sent into the home, finding the man dead inside. It's unclear how much time lapsed between the shots being fired and the drone going in.
The investigation will determine exactly how that happened, how that evolved, and again, we have a lot of work to do to determine what exactly happened inside.
An investigation is now underway by the 23rd Judicial District's Critical Incident Response Team. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Rachel, thank you. A stormy spring Sunday for Colorado today. Denver got some rain and gusty winds this afternoon. The mountains got heavy rain and hail as well. This is video from Steamboat Springs. It is pouring down up there. Corey Reppenhagen joining us this evening. And Corey, we could use all the moisture that we can get.
Yeah, and we've got more chances. So pretty much over the next 3 or 4 days, we'll have at least one shot. Tomorrow's probably our best shot. Right now, we still have some rain showers going across the state, all the way from Grand Junction up to the northeast corner. Not too much strong weather or severe weather. We're pretty much done with that going forward. But rain chances will continue overnight into tomorrow morning. This is the forecast in Denver tomorrow. We could see a rain shower just about at any time. The best chance will be in the early afternoon hours. And check out the temperatures. Kind of weird, right? We've got the warmest or the highest temperatures before the sun comes up, and it gets colder during the day. The low temperatures will be in the afternoon when we normally see the highs. And then on Tuesday morning, the coldest stuff will arrive. We have a freeze watch in place. Temperatures could drop below freezing into about the 29-degree range. Not everybody in this watch box is going to drop below freezing, though. I'll detail that coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes, Mark.
Corey, thank you. From freeze to fire, a fast-moving wildfire in southeastern Colorado has forced a small town to evacuate. And late this evening, it's looking like first responders have been able to steer that fire away from the town. Baca County Emergency Management ordered mandatory evacuations for the town of Campo. Campo has about 60 residents or so. The evacuation order for the town was lifted about an hour ago. Evacuation orders are still in place for rural residents near Campo. A shelter is open at Springfield schools. The Sharp Fire, as it's being called, is estimated to be larger than 28,000 acres, spreading into Oklahoma from the Colorado side as well. Democratic Governor Jared Polis has declared a disaster emergency, which allows more state resources to be sent to the fire. The Campo School District says it's postponing graduation because of the fire. Back here on the Front Range, a man in Aurora is accused of killing a 4-year-old boy. Police have arrested 24-year-old Alexander Martinez Armstrong. Police say they responded last night to an apartment on Tennessee Avenue and found the young boy unconscious and not breathing. The boy was rushed to the hospital where he died. Police say Martinez Armstrong is not the boy's father and admitted to hitting him. Martinez Armstrong was booked into jail on a first-degree murder charge. One person is dead after a head-on crash on I-25 this morning. Denver police first posted about the crash at 7:30 this morning. They say it happened on northbound I-25 near 20th in the HOV lane. One person died and the other driver was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. DPD says the driver who died was driving the wrong way down the interstate when the crash happened. No word on how the other driver is doing this evening. Denver police continues to investigate. For 43 years now, people have marched on this day to continue raising awareness for HIV and AIDS. Around 5,000 people in the U.S. die every year from AIDS and more than 600,000 globally. Angeline McCall was at the event in Boulder.
I mean, part of why we're here today is we're stronger as a community.
Some people here today remember the beginning of the epidemic, 1981.
There are many of us here who knew a time when there was no AIDS.
4 decades later, an estimated 44 million people worldwide have died of AIDS.
Mark B. Kincaid.
People whose names aren't forgotten.
Another reason I'm here is because of my first roommate in seminary, my first year in seminary, Robert Touchton.
Like Reverend Mark Pickett, many people have their own friends and family still held in memories.
But we're here today to say to them, your lives mattered. You helped to shape who we are today. And as long as we continue breathing, you will not be forgotten.
This event was hosted by Interfaith AIDS Coalition and the Boulder County AIDS Project.
Each flag on the string represents one person's life whose name we read tonight.
Sarah Ancone has spent the last 3 decades working towards raising awareness.
Well, for me, this memorial is a personal opportunity to really come together with my community, the BCAP community, who became literally like family to me when I moved here in '91. I moved here just months after my brother died of AIDS-related illnesses.
In a moment when AIDS and HIV is less talked about than 30 years ago, this memorial ensures the conversation continues.
And it's also very important because there's a lot of people still living with HIV who also need our support, and to know that we haven't forgotten them and that we will advocate for their programs too. The care services programs that help them lead a better life.
Names that aren't forgotten and instead held with the hope for more resources and support.
And until we meet again, may you be held in the palm of God's hand. Amen.
The Trump administration has cut more than $1.5 billion in funds for HIV care, treatment, and other programs. It's something the group talked about today as being a concern to continued education or resources, especially for the younger generation. In the studio, Angeline McCall, 9 News.
Angeline reporting from Boulder, thank you. Up in northern Colorado, Greeley police say the prize statue at Glenmere Park that was stolen has now been found. The statue was called the Prize Catch, depicts a boy holding fish. It's been in the park since the city first bought it back in 1999 for $6,000. But Tuesday afternoon, investigators say that someone took off with the top portion of the statue, leaving only the feet. Turns out a neighbor heard the possible suspects around 2:30 that day.
Saw a white box truck drive up this road, and they were backing in. She thought they were park workers, so she ignored them.
Greeley Police says staff at Rocky Mountain Recycling realized a statue sold to them matched the description of the stature and contacted the police. The statue is now back with the city's park department. Detectives have not arrested anyone yet and say the investigation is ongoing. Up in Idaho, 2 fighter jets collided during an air show today. The 4 airmen involved in the crash parachuted out safely, but some wild pictures there as they tangle up and crash. Happened about 2 miles from Mountain Home Air Force Base. The rest of the gunfighters air show was called off after the crash. This isn't the first time that an air show crash has happened at this military base. In fact, back in 2003, a Thunderbird's jet crashed, and in 2018, the pilot of a hand glider died. Today was the first time that this Air Force base has hosted an air show since that 2018 incident.